Dear children, as we mentioned earlier, we are going to start from the first lesson of second term. So for grade 11, the first lesson in second term is percentages. If you remember about the percentages that we learned several lessons in grade 10 and in grade 9 about percentages. So in this lesson, we are going to learn about loans. How loans, the percentage work of loans. Right. First of all, we will see that there are two types of expenses. In our daily household expenses, it is falling into two main categories. One it is recurrent expenses. So in our day-to-day lives, we have to spend money for food. Now, for an example, if you spend 5,000 rupees to buy the necessary commodities for this week, again you have to spend another 5,000 or more than that in the next week also. And for clothes also, we have to spend again and again, and paying electricity bills, paying water bills, like that. We have to spend money again and again. So these are called recurring expenses. And the second category is capital expenses. Capital expenses means that you spend only once. For an example, let's take buying a land, buying a plot of land. You spend money for that. Then you bought it. Then you don't have to spend it again and again for that. Buying a car and investing in a business, like that. So those expenses are done only once, right? We call those are capital expenses. When people are having to do these expenses, sometimes they don't have enough money. When they don't have enough money to do these expenses, what is the solution they have? They have to take a loan. People borrow money to cover up the expenses in both these categories, right? So the loans taken in recurrent expenses, loans taken for recurrent expenses are to be paid back in a short time. So that, for an example, if you take a loan from a friend to pay back in 3 months, you have to pay it back, the whole amount. If you took 5,000 rupees, you have to give that 5,000 rupees at once. The whole amount is to be paid back at once. So that is the way with recurrent expenses. Right. The loans taken for capital expenses, it cannot be paid back at once. Now just for an example, you are going to buy a car, so you take a loan. Just the price of the car is 2 million. You have only 1 million there. So you take another loan of just another 1 million as a loan. Right? You can't pay it back at once. So because it is a large amount and it is invested. So you don't have that money at hand because it is invested. So the loans taken for capital expenses, you have to pay back part by part. It will be paid with equal installments. Now learn this word, installments. In Sinhala we call it is varika. Varika vashen. So it will be paid with equal installments, monthly or in any other time periods. Right? So the new word that we learned there is installments. For an example, now say there 24,000 rupees is borrowed to pay back in 12 equal monthly installments. Right? The amount took is 24,000. You are going to pay back it in 12 equal monthly installments. What is the amount to be paid in 1 month, in one installment? To find it, we have to divide it. That 24,000 is to be divided by 12. The part of the loan paid in one installment, 24,000 divided by 12, it is equal to 2,000 rupees. Right? Like that, the loans taken for capital expenses, you have to pay it in installments, normally in equal equal installments. It can be monthly or 3 months time or once in a year or like that in any time period. So when the loan is paid part by part in installments, the balance of the loan amount is reducing. So this is to be understood very carefully. Now see there, we take a very small example. A person borrowed 1,200. I take these simple numbers just for the ease of understanding. A person borrowed 1,200 rupees to pay back in 12 equal monthly installments. So that means 1,200 is to be paid back in 12 installments. So what is the amount to be paid in one installment? What is the amount to be paid in one installment? 1,200 you have to divide by 12. When 1,200 divided by 12, it is 100 rupees. So part of the loan paid in one installment is 100 rupees. Right. So then, now for an example we take, you took the loan, you took 1,200 from a friend to pay back 100 rupees in each month. So, the 100 rupees amount is the amount you have to pay back in 1 month. So let's take that the loan is taken in the month January 1st. When the month January is over, you have to pay 100 rupees. So for the whole January month, you are in debt. Your loan is 12 of hundreds. 12 of hundreds. But in February, so at the end of January you paid 100. So in February you are in debt only 1,100 rupees. That means only 1,100 parts. So in February, at the end of February also, you pay 100 rupees. So in March, you have to pay another 10 parts of 100 rupees. Like that we say, when you are paying it part by part, the balance of the loan is reducing, and we say it is diminishing. The word diminishing also used there. The balance of the loan is diminishing or reducing. The interest for the loans to be calculated by considering this reducing balance or diminishing balance. In Sinhala we say Heenavana Shesheta Anuva Poliya Devi. So when you take a loan to pay back in installments, the interest for the loan is calculated according to the reducing balance or the diminishing balance. So what we have to learn about calculations in percentages is how to calculate the interest for the loan according to the reducing balance. We take an example. A person borrowed 1,200 rupees to pay back in 12 equal installments with a simple interest rate of 24% per annum. Per annum means per an year. So the loan amount is 1,200 rupees. And you have to pay it in 12 equal monthly installments. Not only the loan, but we have to pay the interest also. We'll see about the interest that we have to pay. The interest rate is 24% per year. Interest rate is 24% per year. But the 24% is for an year. But we are paying it in months. Now see that part of the loan, as we did earlier, part of the loan paid in one installment. How to find it? 1,200 to be divided by 12. It is 100 rupees. So the interest for one installment, that means one part of 100 rupees. Let's calculate it. 100 is to be multiplied by 24 over 100. Why it is 24 over 100? Because the interest rate is 24%. 24 over 100 is, so 100 multiplied by 24 over 100, that is the interest for 1 year, because annual interest rate is given. 24 is the annual interest rate. So we are dealing with monthly interest. So we have to find it for a month. To find it for a month, you have to divide it by 12. Is it clear? So to find out for a month, the interest for a month, divide it by 12. Divide it by 12 we take simply as multiplying by 1 over 12. 1 over 12. So 100 rupees, that is the part of the loan paid in 1 month, is to be multiplied by 24 over 100 and then again multiply by 1 upon 12. What is the answer there? When you multiply 24 is 12 times 2, then 100 and 100 cancel, it is 2 rupees. For a 100 rupees part, the interest for 1 month is 2 rupees. Okay, understand it carefully. For a 100 rupees part, the interest for 1 month, it is 2 rupees. Right? Then we will find what is the total interest that the person has to pay. So before that, that means the meaning of interest. So I exaggerate it again. That means the interest for one part of 100 rupees for a month is 2 rupees. For every 100 rupees, interest 2 rupees is added. Right. Then, now see the interest to be paid for the first month. So let's take it is January. In January, you are in debt 12 of 100 rupees parts. That means 100 rupees for a month. So in January, you are in debt 1200 parts because nothing is paid back. So you took 1200, that means 12 of 100 rupees parts. So the interest for 100 rupees is 2 rupees. And for the month January or the first month, we have to pay 12 times 2, that is 24 rupees as the interest. At the end of the first month, you pay just one part of 100 rupees is paid. So in the second month, your loan is only 1100 rupees parts. That means the interest to be paid for the second month is 11 times 2. So I hope you understood. 11 times 2, it is 22 rupees. Likewise, what do you say about the interest for the third month? In the third month, you are in debt 10 of 100 rupees. Therefore, the interest for the third month is 10 times 2, that is 20 rupees. Like that, in the fourth month, it is 9 times 2. In the fifth month, it is 8 times 2. On the sixth month, 7 times 2, 6 times 2, 5 times 2, 4 times 2, 3 times 2. And in the last month, your interest is only 2 rupees, one of the 2. The total interest during the whole year, in whole 12 months time, you have to pay back for the loan is the sum of these numbers. When it is added, it is 156. So the total interest you have to pay for the loan during the whole month is 156 rupees. This is the way that we calculate the interest according to the reducing balance, according to the diminishing balance. Right. Then, this can be calculated very easily. So here that we wrote a long list and calculated. But this is to be calculated like this. Now see there, for the first month it is 12, second month is 11, third month it is 10. Like that we have to add 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus like that until 1. So it is added. And the sum of that numbers is to be multiplied by 2 rupees because the interest for 1 month is 2 rupees. So when you take it 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus 1, you can take it in a easy way. So if you remember that we learned a formula in grade 10 class. So to find out the sum of an arithmetic progression. So you can find it like this. 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 plus until 1, it is to, you can calculate it. It's 12 upon 2 times 12 plus 1. The number of installments is 12. 12 divided by 2 and it is to be multiplied by 12 plus 1. That is the total number of 100 rupees parts that you have to pay interest. It is multiplied by the amount of the interest for 1 month. It is 2 rupees. So 12 divided by 2, it is 6, is to be multiplied by 13, 12 plus 1. So it is 78. 78 multiplied by 2, that 156 rupees, as we mentioned earlier. It is coming 156 rupees. So the total interest is that. That number 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9 until 1, it is called the number of month units. That's it. The number of month units. Number of month units is to be multiplied by what? By the interest for one installment. Therefore, we can have this formula. The total interest is equal to number of month units multiplied by the interest for one installment per month. Okay, now remember. So always when you are calculating the interest for a loan according to the reducing balance, the total interest comes according to this formula. Number of month units multiplied by the interest for one installment per month. Number of monthly units, month units that you can calculate in that way. If the number of installment is n divided by 2 and multiplied by n plus 1. If the number of installments is n, number of month units is n upon 2 times n plus 1. We'll find out, so we'll take some examples. If the number of month units, if the number of installments is 12, what is the number of month units? Okay, let's see. That n is 12. 12 to be divided by 2 and multiplied by 12 plus 1. Right? It is 12 divided by 2, it is 6. 12 plus 1, 13, it is 78. If the number of installment is 36, number of installment is 36, then number of month units is what? See there, 36 divided by 2 multiplied by 36 plus 1. That is 18 multiplied by 36, so this is 70. 18 multiplied by 17 is 666. If the number of installment is 6, see there, 6 divided by 2 multiply 6 plus 1. It is 3 times 7, that is 21. This is the way how to calculate the number of month units. Again remember, so what we said, how to find the total interest? Number of month units multiplied by the interest for one installment per month. Then we will go back to our example again. We said, let's go back to our example. So before that the formula, if the number of installment is n, number of month units comes n upon 2 times n plus 1. Remember it. Right. So about our example, so a person borrowed 1,200 to pay back in 12 equal monthly installments.